If you work hard, save money, and stay out of debt, you're going to be financially free. Well, at least that was the version they taught us in school. No wonder many of us are still struggling financially. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how money actually works. Not the motivational version, not even the school version, but the real one. And if you stay till the end of this video, I promise you're not going to see money the same way again. And make sure you watch to the end because I'm going to be talking about the part that holds even the wealthiest people down. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. Hi, my name is Beth and I make content about finance, career, and side hustles. If you're interested in this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you do enjoy this video, please give me a like. It really helps me. And the first thing no one tells you about money is that money is not the same thing as wealth. Money is a tool. Wealth is a system. So you need money to create wealth. True. But they are not the same thing at all. You can create wealth without having money at the moment. But because you've created wealth, which is the system, you're eventually going to get money. In my last video, I spoke about manifesting money. A way to actually manifest properly is to put aside systems that are going to make your manifestation to work. And one of those systems is what we call wealth. Money is not wealth. And that is one thing that they don't teach you in school. So when people think about wealth, they think about accumulating money. But that is not the same thing. You can have a lot of money and not have wealth. That is why someone can have a lot of money today and have nothing tomorrow. Here's an example. If I give two people $10,000 each, one person can return in 3 months with $30,000. The other person can return in 3 months with negative 100,000. Yes, that is because money is not wealth. Money is a system. So if I give these two people $10,000 each without giving them any system at all, the money becomes what it actually is, a tool. And the person who already has a system or who is able to build a system is able to keep, manage, and multiply that money. While the other person without a system is going to return without the money and probably in a little more debt. So you can see, same money, different outcomes. Now you can see that money is not a problem. What you do with it actually is. Now the second thing is, money always flows. Money cannot stay in one place forever. Money is like water. You can't keep it, you can't contain it. It always flows. And it flows in just one direction, the direction of value. Money doesn't flow in the direction of effort. So you cannot push money to move in a direction. The only way to push money is to have value, because money moves in the direction naturally of value. And this is why people always say that you cannot get rich from a job. That is not exactly true. You can get rich from a job. But what happens about getting a job is that your value is limited. What that means is your job can only pay you to do one thing at a time. So you're literally exchanging your time, which is the value you bring to the company, with the money. And you only have 24 hours. So they can only pay you for 24 hours. And no one works 24 hours, but even if you did want to work, the most you can work is 24 hours. And that is why they say your job cannot make you rich. That is not because your job actually cannot make you rich. It's because there is a limit that you can get to with a job, or with exchanging your time literally for money, right? But when it comes to maybe having a business or something, you have what is called like a system, which is what I said wealth is, because then your 24 hours can become a lot more because you can outsource it to people that you call employees. So your 24 hours can become 24 times 3, 24 times 5, or 24 times 20, depending on how many employees that you have. So that way you're able to leverage your time and have more value. That is why people believe that when you have a business or something that is not a job, you're able to bring in more money because your value multiplies, because you have more people bringing in your value, basically. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but what it means is, if I am supposed to push this chair alone and it's going to take me like 3 hours to successfully take it to the next location. And then I have like four other people who are pushing it with me. Surely I'm going to get there faster, right? So my value, which is my physical strength to push that chair, has increased, not because I got stronger, but because I now have a system, more people coming together to push with me. And that is why many people think that a job cannot make you rich, because a job does not permit you to have that system, because a job is literally you are a part of someone else's system. That is what happens when you have a job. And that is why people, constantly say that a job cannot make you rich. A job can make you rich, but it is limited. Money only moves in one direction, which is the direction of value. So if you want more money, you need to provide more value. And if you cannot provide the value on your own, which of course I gave an example of a chain now, sometimes it's not because you don't even have skill, but it just requires a much more larger scale that only you cannot provide. So that is why you can get other people to increase your value, probably like an employee, an assistant, a partner, someone else that can increase the value that you bring to your job or to your business, whatever the case may be. Because what you're trying to do is build a system of value, because that is what attracts money. So you're trying to build a system of value. And to get that system of value, sometimes you're not the only person. Only you cannot contribute that amount of value. So you have to bring other people into the circle. The more scarce your value is, the more value it has. Like if not a lot of people can bring what you bring in, then your value automatically goes up. That is something that we do in the stock market. When more people are interested in the stock and there's just not enough to go around, it automatically goes up. That some people also use it to like manipulate the market. I didn't teach you that. So if you want money to flow to you, you're not going to be thinking about just providing value. You're going to be thinking about providing value that every other person is not providing. And even if you're providing a value that almost every other person is providing, you want to think about how to stand out, how your value is going to stand out. Because when your value is unique, it brings in something else that other people's value does not bring in. You automatically attracting more value to yourself just by doing a little bit different from what everyone else is doing. You need to understand how money really flows into us. Okay, now you have value, right? Okay, so how does the money come? And there are three ways the money comes in when money perceives value. The first way is the earned income. Now this is what I spoke about having a job. And this is usually the slowest way because, like I said, your time is limited. You only have 24 hours. And no matter what you do, you only can spend 24 hours. So this is usually the slowest way to attract wealth to you because, well, it is limited. So this is income from your salary or a job or something that you do for someone and you get paid one time. Now the second one is business income. Now this is the one people always talk about. Like this is how you make all the money, because a business is, if you build your business the right way, it becomes a system where you have people trading their 24 hours for you. So you have like multiple 24 hours in one 24-hour. So of course that is like a consistent way to build a system. You get other people's like amplify your 24 hours without really like employing someone. Although investment is kind of employing someone because you're like, here's my money, grow it for me. But if you're looking at it literally, you're not like employing anyone per se. You're just looking for a way to amplify your 24 hours. Now, the problem is that many people are taught to only depend on either a business or a job. But that is one of the reasons why people struggle financially for a really long time. Why a business is fantastic because you get lots of people coming in. When the entire point of like understanding the way money really works is to take advantage of the system. Taking advantage of the system means you have to like open your hands, like just put all your fishes out there or your eggs in many baskets. Yeah, put your eggs in many baskets. So don't just like say I want to be on a job or a business. You can do both. You can do it. You can be on a business and tap into investment income. You can be on a job and tap into investment income. And if you have the energy, you can be on a job, a business, and tap into investment income at the same time. Now, this kind of system is what actually differentiates normal people and wealthy people. Wealthy people are constantly looking for a system to tap into. Like they're just looking for, which is even the whole idea of investment in the first place. Because you're always looking for what system can I tap into now to make more money. And that's what it kind of separates them from the average man who is just like, okay, well, how can I get a job? Or how can I start a small business? But they're always thinking of, okay, I have a job now. How do I get a business? Okay, I have a job and a business. How do I get more money? I need a system that's constantly bringing me money. That is why they think about, oh, let me invest. Yeah. So when I'm not working or supervising my business, money is still coming in. And that is the system that I'm trying to talk about in this video. And many people are still struggling because they don't tell you that savings alone cannot make you rich. And many people are still waiting for, like, I have a job and I'm saving so I can start a business. Of course, you need money to start a business. But what you should understand is that the money that you're keeping in your savings is is depreciating because of inflation. I made a video about inflation. I think that's my second video about inflation. Inflation is definitely going to creep up on the money you have in your bank account. So when you're waiting to gather the money to start a business, you're literally pouring what's in a basket because you're almost full, but then you come down just a little bit, and you're almost full, and then you come down just a little bit, and then before you know, you just never, you can never be full because when you're trying to be full, inflation is attacking the money, and you keep coming down just a little bit and just a little bit, and that is why you have to right now start looking for how to leverage all three systems without actually waiting. What does that mean? You have like $20 in your savings account. Invest it. Yes, go ahead and invest $20. Go ahead and invest 20,000 naira. Go ahead and invest anything that you have in your bank account right now. Well, not all, because I made a video about like emergency savings and all that. So take out your emergencies, of course, but go ahead and invest the rest. Think about, how can I benefit from all these three systems? Why do I have to wait? Why do I have to wait? And also, while you're waiting for your money to like gather up, you need to also think about taking debt. Debt is not the enemy. Ignorance is the enemy. Debt can be a useful tool if you position it the right way. So while you're trying to start a business, maybe consider a business loan. I'm not saying you should get into debt that you don't understand. Make sure you understand the terms of this loan that you're trying to get into. But debt is a friend. And many people, including myself, have gone into debt like sometime in my journey to use the money to do a business. And I haven't regretted it. That's just because I understood what I was getting into. So if you don't understand what you're getting into, or you haven't like tested it and you're sure that this is a good investment, please do not get into debt. But if you're sure, you tried it, you tested it, and you need to like upscale, don't be afraid to go into debt. Don't keep waiting and waiting and waiting for your savings to stack up when you can get into debt and get the ball rolling like as soon as today. So of course, don't take debt to buy a luxury car or to buy something like a new phone. It has to be strategic. It has to be something that is going to bring you more income. And I'm saying you're going to buy a car and say, okay, I want to use this car for Uber. That's not what I mean, because I know you probably are not going to use a car, for you, or you're going to use it for your own personal use. So no, don't do that. But use it as a leverage to upskill your system, your business. If you already have, maybe you're currently producing like 100 bags of whatever, and you feel like if you could produce 200, you could cut down the cost and potentially make more money. So why wait to have enough money to produce 200 when you can go and take a loan and be able to produce 200 today? Optimizing your process is always a good idea. And if you believe optimizing your process is going to bring you more money today, go ahead and take a loan. Debt is useful when it's used strategically. It can literally change the entire scope of your business. Now, before I go, I'm going to talk about the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to money. None of you have understood like how money works, how money comes to you, how to use the money that comes to you. You need to also avoid the mistake of increasing your lifestyle as soon as money comes into your hands. But that is one mistake that many people make unknowingly. You don't really know that you're making these mistakes, but you just kind of see that you're losing money because like money is not enough, but your income is increasing, but you're still constantly stuck. There's something we used to say in my place. We say you can never have enough money. And yeah, you actually can never have enough money. But if you plan it well, you can have more than enough money. The reason why you think you can have enough money is because once the money comes, your lifestyle increases. And once your lifestyle increases, the money is just never gonna be enough. So you need to, as you're trying to like understand how money works and how to grow money and how to keep the money that you have, you need to really be careful about increasing your lifestyle as the money is coming to you. Just go ahead and buy a new car because you have more money, or go ahead and upgrade your phone because your business is doing better than it was doing last week. I'm not saying don't get fancy stuff, but what I'm saying is do not take the money that is supposed to use to grow your business to enjoy your today. Delayed gratification is an important virtue when it comes to knowing how money works and growing your finances. You need to learn it. So now here's a summary of everything I've spoken about in this video. The first thing is money is a tool, and money is drawn to value. You don't chase money. You make yourself valuable. You provide value, so money comes to you. And the next thing is money is attracted to systems, not just a person, not just value. So the value you're bringing should be a value that is a little scarce, and you should have a system so that when the money comes, the system keeps the money moving, keeps the money growing, keeps the money with you. So that is a recap of everything I've spoken about in this video. And please don't forget to avoid debt. Unnecessary debt is a killer. You do not want to get into it. So that is all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like. And if you're yet to subscribe and you're interested in the kind of content that I create, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.